Now, a friend of mine writes me with these Obama phrases. Now it's, we can't wait. And she's a mom, and she said, when when my kids were young, my son used to say that when he had to go potty. Mommy, we can't wait. And she said her response was always, yes, we can. We can't wait. Yes, we can. This is our president. Hey, look at this. I got a new fortune cookie slogan. Why don't I run around and talk about that? Now, I want you to listen to this clip. It's very interesting. It's an English version of any third world dictator. It's an English version of Fidel Castro. It's an English version of Hugo Chavez. Pick your dictator. Just listen carefully. Not a president, the English version of a third world banana republic dictator. Mr. Producer, go.
But last month, when I addressed a joint session of Congress about our jobs crisis, I also said that I intend to do everything in my power to act on behalf of the American people with or without Congress. So I'm here to say to all of you and to say to the people of Nevada and the people of Las Vegas, we can't wait for an increasingly dysfunctional Congress to do its job. Where they won't act, I will.
Does that not sound like a dictator? They won't act, I will. Now, I don't need to brush off my copy of the Constitution. It's been brushed off many, many times. And I went back and I looked at it again. I said, where they won't act, I will. What's that all about? Well, that's these are the ramblings of a man with an imperial mind, a dictatorial mind. And every now and then he reveals that, doesn't he? Luckily in China, I'm paraphrasing, they don't have to have this or that. See, our system was built quite differently, wasn't it? It was built to slow down a man exactly like this. It was built to slow him down. Because our framers knew that there would be men like Barack Obama who were power hungry and political demagogues. Now, first of all, he talks about a dysfunctional Congress. What's dysfunctional about Congress is the Senate, because we have a dysfunctional majority leader who I believe, and I'm saying this in all seriousness, seems to me to be having the early stages of dementia. When you hear him talk and mumble and forget and I'm saying this in all seriousness. When you combine that with what I believe is a very unstable president, his temperament, his policies, his anger, he's thin-skinned and all the rest of it, we got a problem on our hands. The only thing that is functioning properly right now is the House of Representatives, because the House of Representatives isn't doing anything to damage us right now. I'm not happy that they're not moving the ball forward more, but I do understand the situation. So what is dysfunctional? So it's like Obama doesn't think that we understand exactly what his game plan is. Exactly what it is. Put up a phony bill, a massive tax bill, to reward the NEA and anybody else who's contributing money to his campaign and putting an army of precinct workers out there. He wants you and me to pay for his campaign workers. And the Republicans said not only no, but you'll massively increase the deficit and you'll kill more jobs. What this man is not is a job creator, okay? Can we at least agree on that? He's not a jobs creator in any way. So when he's running around the country screaming, making an ass out of himself, talking about, but for the Republicans, but for Congress, I'd be creating all these jobs. He owned Congress for 2 years, and he not only didn't create jobs, he killed jobs. So he has a record. So what does he do? Well, he's a man of many personalities. He is the Sybil of presidents, even though we now know that was based on phony science. But let's just play along, shall we? He's the Sybil of presidents. He's got at least 3 or 4 personalities. Sometimes he's Lincoln. Sometimes he's FDR. Sometimes he's Reagan. Sometimes he's Truman. He's never Obama, but sometimes he's somebody else. So in this campaign, somebody astutely wrote in the Wall Street Journal, he's not so much running as Truman against the do-nothing Congress. He's running as FDR with the class warfare, hate big business. Actually, he's doing both. He's adopted from Truman and FDR the do-nothing Congress and the class warfare. The problem is, Americans have already experienced that. We've already gone through that cycle in American history. The problem is there's not enough liberty in this country. That's the truth. The problem is there's not enough capitalism in this country. Well, Mark, don't you believe in regulations? I dare you to look up the aggregate of last year's regulations. I dare you to go to the government printing office and get a copy of the Federal Register and start to read it and tell me we don't have enough regulations in this country. Your eyes will go to the back of your head. You'll go, oh my God, what is this? That's right, because most of us don't get a copy of the Federal Register and look at it. And most businesses have to hire a phalanx of lawyers to figure it the hell out. There's plenty of regulations in this country. This country didn't start 13 days ago. They have regulations piled on top of regulations, piled on top of regulations.